Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harris and I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books, and today we're talking to Wandering In again. So this video is really late and it's because I spent the day with my son and my family going and looking at penguins down on the coast. So we saw like some Humboldt penguins, some fairy penguins, we saw otters, we saw seals, saw jellyfish, saw eels, like massive moray eels, which was pretty cool. And then, yeah, you know, took us a while to get there, took us a while to get back, and now we're here. But I have read a chapter of The Wandering In, and I'm here to talk to you guys about it. So, last week I managed to get 2 read. This week has just been insanely busy with work. I've also been away all weekend, just want to get a lot of my reading done. So yeah, times, they are tough right now. I'm also I got a brand new phone. I use my phone to record my videos, so I'm now recording this on a brand new phone. So the first video from the new phone, so if the quality is worse, then I guess I've wasted, you know, like £1,200 on nothing. But I think the quality looks pretty good. Be interested to see how it looks after the edit, because this video is like, on the like preview for the video, is like a lot brighter, which I think is quite interesting. So yeah, this chapter. This was a really good one. We had multiple points of view, which were all really interesting, but we start off with maybe one of the most interesting parts of the chapter, which is the POV of the Antinium Queen. So she's kind of talking about the role of the prognigator in the hive, kind of in her like thoughts, because she's talking to Klivich and she's like, oh, I'm sad he's not the prognigator anymore, kind of sort of thing. So we've got, she's talking and saying the prognigator is basically like the check and balance for the queen. So like kind of like a prime minister almost, in that he like looks after the hive, and he does the like day-to-day running of the hive that she can't always get involved in, like she wants to but can't always. And he also, the prognigator, is there to like call her on her bullshit. So if she makes like a stupid decision, he's there to like go, actually, queen, this would be better, etc. Sorry, it's pretty late. So he's not there to like out and out disagree with her, but he's there to be like, have you thought about it this way, and like kind of try and nudge her and provide that like counterbalance to like that you know totalitarian dictatorship from the queen. And yeah, really enjoyed this section, and then it kind of shifts into like a conversation between the queen and Klivich, and she talks about how he's now like a new role, which I think was called like, not Revelator, but like something like that. And yeah, they talk a little bit about Kissenveer, but like kind of how the queen's like, well, I probably should have just killed him, and Klivich is like, no, he's got to learn, but he will learn. It's really interesting because the way that he talks about Kissenveer here is very different to the way that he talks to Kissenveer in the earlier chapters in the book. So interesting, very multifaceted character is our Klivich. So the next scene is over in the inn. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that the Antinium Queen mentions that Erin has achieved one of the like dream goals, like the dream of the Antinium, I think she refers to it as, which is interesting to say the least. So Erin is like, is the dream of the Antinium to be able to free their people from the hive, or is the dream of the Antinium to be able to cross universes? Interesting. So we move back to the Wandering Inn, and Olism is there playing chess, and Erin is absolutely handing his ass to him as usual. And then Pisces comes in and he tells them that he's managed to make a zombie spider, and then he like shoves it at them and they're all terrified because it's a zombie spider. So interesting. This is kind of a callback to when Erin's like, hey, can you make zombie spiders? Earlier in chapter 2, book 2. And Pisces even is like, this is a callback, you asked me to do this, which is quite funny. And then the Val the courier from last week drops in, and he's like, hey, I'm here with a package and it's for the best chess player in Liscor. And Olazum's like, well, yeah, technically I'm the best chess player in Liscor, but Erin is better than me. And then he's like, well, it's for the person who solved this chess riddle, which is something that happens way back in volume 1, like early volume 1. And it was Erin who wrote the chess riddle. And so she accepts delivery of this gift, which is magically ensorcelled, so that it, like, only a person who's telling the truth can receive it. Like, Val has like a charm. And it's also like sealed so that when she opens it, her like faces and identity is recorded. Very interesting. Obviously that will come back to us. And she opens up the package and it's just a chessboard. She's like, oh, it's a chessboard. I mean, it's a nice chessboard, but it's just a chessboard. But it definitely feels like to me that this is a magic chessboard. And my assumption is that it is like a distance magic chessboard that she can use to play chess against the like dude who's obsessed with chess. The like, he was mentioned in volume 1. Somebody in the comments say who this guy's name is, because it will come up and I would like to know or remember it. So that was really interesting, and like obviously the magic chessboard's going to be a thing, and the relationship between its characters is going to be a thing. I get the feeling that both Ryoka and Erin are kind of like into Val, like as a, you know, possible love interest. Might just be because he's the only human man that isn't Pisces that Erin has met, but definitely interesting. And I like all of these characters. Val is a little thin as a character at the moment, but I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. He seems to be important. He's probably our like connection or branch to the top half of the continent, to like First Landing and places like that. So yeah, interesting. Would like to hear more from and about him. It looks like he's going to be staying at the inn though, so that's our opportunity. Next thing, so Ryoka is trying to chase after Val, and she's been like chugging potions and stuff just to keep on the road and keep running. And she comes across an abandoned suit of armor, and this reminded me of like the living armor, which I think they fought in the ruins. And I feel like Torren was fighting a living armor in the end of the Torren chapter. I could be very wrong. Somebody put in the comments on this chapter that the answer to what's going on with the armor will be revealed in chapter 19, so I'll just wait. Interesting though, and you know, anything that brings us closer and closer to having Torren back is for the best. Erin does tell Pisces about Torren, and Pisces is like, look, if he doesn't turn up by tomorrow, I'll go and look for him, but like, his nature is that he'll come back. Like, he will come back, don't worry about it. Which was interesting, because I kind of was like, oh, I didn't think he'd just kind of like get bored and come home, like a teenager who's trying to catch the greyhound and escape their religious upbringing or whatever. Anyway, so that's kind of like the lion's share of the story. But yeah, Ryoka runs from the magic armor, and she goes to the inn, and then when she's at the inn, she's like, I think someone's cast a spell on my head, and you two wizards are the only wizards I trust, so can you check me out? And so they do a detect magic on her, and her head like lights up. But also, so does a lot of other stuff, so like her belt where the stamina potion is, and Val, because he's like covered in enchanted gear, and the chessboard. So Magic chessboard. Knew it. Also, he uses a dream catcher. Val has a dream catcher that's like, oh, this costs several thousand gold, and he uses it to try and dispel Ryoka, but obviously her spell was cast on her by Teriarch, so it's an incredibly powerful spell, and it destroys his many thousand gold piece dream catcher. So yeah, that's a fun one. I don't know whether the gang will be paying him back for that one or not. Or maybe he'll just join the gang. It does kind of seem like he wants to join the gang. So Ryoka then remembers that Teriarch is a dragon, and that's kind of where we leave the end of the chapter. So good stuff all around, to be honest. Good characterization from Erin and her supporting cast. Good character moments from Ryoka. I enjoyed her finding the armor and like looking it over, like CSIing it, which was fun. No mention of Chiria's skeleton hand this week, and she even does some magic, so it'd be interesting to see, like, does the skeleton hand plot line kind of go away? Is that something that Pirate Arbor's not that invested in, so it's, you know, not mentioned unless it's important? Olism being back in the book, big fan of Olism, actually. I think he's one of the more fun minor characters so far, and I would imagine, seeing as there's a book called The Tactician of Liscor, and he's the Tactician of Liscor, or something like that. General of Liscor? I don't know. There's something like that, so my guess is that maybe he will end up being something like that in the future. Disappointed that I only had time to read a single chapter this week, because I really enjoyed this one, and I did kind of want to see what happened next, because you kind of left on a bit of a cliffhanger. And I almost recorded this video tomorrow instead, and just did, and was just going to be like, well, I won't skip Thursday, but I'll post Thursday's video first thing Friday morning. But then, like, I've got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow morning before I start work, so I just don't think it was feasible time-wise, which is a shame. I blasted through this bad boy on ebook, so that was a very quick read. It was about 25 minutes, I think, for a chapter. The ebook chapter, like, on the ebooks, I am so much quicker at reading. Like, if you look at that Andrea Parsonneau narrated audiobook, some of those chapters are like this. I think last week's chapter was like an hour of listening, and I listened on 1.3 speed, 1.3x, and then when I was reading, the reading was like, oh, this should take you about 25-30 minutes, and so that's like literally cut that time in a third. The good thing about the Andrea Parsonneau narration, though, is that she does really identifiable voices for every character. So where sometimes it can be hard to discern who's speaking in the ebook, in the audiobook, obviously I never have that issue because Andrea Parsonneau is so good at the different voices and accents and stuff. So yeah, all in all, great chapter, great week. I wish I was less busy and had more time. I haven't even really had time to delve into the audiobook for it, because I was like, oh, I'll listen to a couple of chapters via audiobook this week while I'm doing chores and jobs and stuff, and I just haven't had the time. So apologies for the back down to one chapter a weakness of this week's episode. However, I do hope you enjoyed it. It was a good chapter, and I think this was a fun episode. It was fun to talk about. There's a lot of little bits of plot in this one, so rather than being one big scene, which a lot of the chapters are, this was like 4 or 5 different things, and they were all interesting to talk about, which I really like. If you like this chapter and this video, then one of the best things you can do is give this video a like. Please also share it with your friends who love the Wandering Inn. The numbers have been going down a little bit lately, which is kind of sad, but I would really still like people to watch these videos, obviously, for selfish reasons, but also because I like the community around reading the comments and stuff. I do read all the comments, but I don't really have enough time to reply to them all in my normal week. Sometimes I get like a Sunday night where I can sit down and blast through all my comments. And I try to go to the oldest ones then. So if your comment is awaiting a reply, don't worry, I've seen it, I will reply eventually. Sorry for the delay. Finally, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do. I love every single person that has subscribed to the channel. I love our little community that we've built, especially our tiny little wandering in corner of the universe over here. So if you also enjoy these wandering in videos and you would like to keep up with the channel and you would like to show me that there is a big enough audience for these videos, then please do subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll speak to you tomorrow.